What's up, pumpkin heads? Mike here. It has been hot. It's been like 87 to 90 the last 4 days or whatever, 5 days. And the 10-day forecast is the exact same. It's high 80s, 90s. Hotter than it normally is here in Wisconsin. Here we're at the 2200 Wolf. Thought maybe this one was going to open tomorrow, but it's not. I'll go show you one that is. See, it's all green there. Green in the tip. It's not going to open tomorrow. So maybe in 2 days, maybe even in 3. But as you can see, we've been getting a lot of leaf scorch, flagging. I probably should be shading these tips because I'm going to go show you something over at the 2593 Peyton that may or may not be a problem. You're watching Moby Mike Pumpkins on YouTube. All right, we're over at the 2593 Peyton, and I almost picked this one off, but I think I actually just forgot about it. But see how that's yellow up in the tip there? That's going to open tomorrow. They're only receptive for a few hours in the morning, so I'm going to have my wife pollinate that while I'm at work. I'm going to cross it with the 2200 Wolf because that one has 2 male flowers. This one only has 1, and the 2261 only has 1, so we'll go with 2 flowers on that. The reason I'm pollinating this one, I didn't really want this one because the plant's not near as big as that one. But here's up in the tip the one I wanted. You can see this leaf is just scorched to heck. And I'm afraid this pumpkin, I don't know if it might have overheated. It might not be any dang good. I don't know. So I'm just going to pollinate that one. I can cut it off. And we'll see what this one looks like and whatnot. So I'm just going to do that one to be safe because the weather is still going to be hot. And I don't know what else is in the tip here, if anything. So we'll just pollinate that one to be safe. I cut another secondary off this one. I don't know, the thing was just weird. It just never, yeah, this tiny vine just wasn't doing anything. All the flowers were goofy on it. Stupid, so I just cut it off. And 2261 Schmidt, looking good. Vines are all buried. I'll do a vine bearing video, maybe this week, maybe next week. I don't know what I do there. I can see the weeds are dying from Roundup. I can see a few spots. You can see like right there. That's like where I didn't spray there. But the rest of them are dying off with this heat. It'll kill them here pretty good. So I'm going to water yet tonight. I'm going to go harvest those male flowers. I'll put them inside. This one I'll come back after I'm watering. I'll put a Dixie cup over top of it. So when it opens in the morning, no bees can get in there. Then my wife will bring the flowers out from the house. And then she'll pollinate that one for me. And life should be good. Good morning, everybody. Time to pollinate. I got these male flowers off my 2261 last night. They were sitting inside my house. And then we got 2200 Wolf under there somewhere. It's got a Dixie cup on it. We'll get up there and we'll show you how to pollinate. All right, there she is, their little cup I put on her last night. And see, there's like a little pumpkin underneath the flower there. That's a female. That's going to make the pumpkin. And if you see these males, they don't have that. So anyway, I'm going to get these male flowers prepped. I'm going to rip the petals off. We'll just rub them in the female. All right, there's the male with the petals removed. And then there's the female in there. And looks like a nice, perfect four-lober. And looks like there's pollen on the male. And then we just kind of rub that all in there. And make a little music if you want, or talk nice, you know, wow, chicka, wow, wow. Anyway, we rubbed that all in there. I got 2 male flowers, so give her a second little dose here. And we should be all good to go. Some people break these off and then leave it in there. I typically don't. Okay, and then when I'm done, I replace the cup. Then the bees can't get in there. So it's just pure pollen from the plant that I wanted to go in there. So we know the cross is good for the seeds next year. So there you guys go. All right, it's June 14th. Going to do some vine bearing. This starts off yesterday. I prune everything off that I don't want. I've been leaving the tendrils this year. Some of these have male flowers, some of them don't. I started pruning the male flowers off because they're behind the females and I won't be needing them here pretty soon. And that's twofold. One is you don't need to grow it. It's just extra plant growing that doesn't need to be. And two, those yellow flowers attract bad insects. So you don't want your plant full of male flowers when you don't need the male flowers. So first I start off pruning it the day before and training all the vines. Like I run a different vine pattern than a lot of people. I loop my vines backwards. So I'm always staking them and stuff like that. Or if you're growing a normal Christmas tree pattern, they'd pretty much grow straight and you could just move them over and you probably wouldn't have to stake them too much. So anyway, I'll trade them the day before. I might have to make a little adjustment today, but not bad. And then I prune them. And then what I'll do is I'll go around and I'll put a little azos on each of them. So this is a bacteria. It's supposed to be a nitrogen fixing bacteria, which whatever, I'm sure it is. But it also produces IAA, which is a rooting hormone. And I've definitely noticed that it seems like you get better roots on nodes that are inoculated with azos. So I'm using that. And then I have a chicken manure fertilizer. I just sprinkle that around, just give it a little extra boost. And that's got kelp and humic, feather meal. It's kind of a chicken manure blend. And if you'll notice this year, I'm not using any mycorrhizae, so I will be the pumpkin heretic, and I'm not going to use that. And then I got my dirt, something I do that's probably a lot different than other people. If you can see here, my ground is hard. Like a lot of guys just like scoop their dirt up on there. I can't do that. So what I do is I till around each plant, and it makes it loose, and I scoop it up and I put it in a 5-gallon pail, bring it over, put it on the nodes. It's kind of weird, but I guess that's what I do. So anyway, I'll get that, I'll show you each step, and that'll be how we do it. All right, there you go. Got the azos on there, and then the chicken manure is just kind of on each side, just a little sprinkle along there. And then I'm gonna back up for this. See this node right here, how the vine's angling up? Don't bury that one. Wait till that lays flat on the ground, because if you bury that, you have a good chance of like cracking your vine there, and then you're not going to see it because you buried dirt over it. Wait till the node is flat, the whole vine is flat, before you bury it. So we're going to bury 3 there. And that's about what I like to do, is you'll have 3 nodes to bury, and you wait till you got 3 more again. So now we'll just put dirt on top and we're good to go. Okay, there they're all buried up, and I just bury the male flowers right with them. You want a lot of dirt on there because you want to block the light, and blocking the light is what causes the rooting. But if you look at some older ones, male flower, they'll poke right out of that dirt. That ain't no problem. So just cover them up. Don't worry about them. They'll pop out. Some of them might not, but you'll still have plenty of flowers. So what I'll do is, actually, when I do the whole plant, I'll go all the way around azos, all the way around chicken manure, and then all the way around dirt. So I'm not switching in between them. It seems to be a little faster to do it that way. So we'll do that on all 3 plants today, and we'll be all caught up for a little bit. So there you have her. Here's something for you. Look at the water in this tank. It's pretty much all painted. It's got a few spots missing. And this tank is missing most of the paint on the top. Look at all that algae growth in there. Lots of it. So I bought a can of paint. I'm going to just fix all these up where I can see spots and just make them a little better. Alright, I'm here at the scale. And for those of you who don't know, I grew a 2,261 pounder right on a scale. Biggest one ever grown on a scale. Not the only guy that's put one on a scale, but maybe for the whole season anyway. I know some guys that put them on scales later in the season. Watermelon growers typically grow them on scale. So I just want to check this scale out, make sure it's working. I'm about 235. It's reading about 235. One thing to note is I'm going to put a topper on this, and I won't zero it. We'll have to subtract that weight. If I put the topper on and calibrate it, it'd be fine. But if we zero it, then anytime you unplug it, it's going to go back to the calibration. So then we'd lose that weight and we'd be off. So I don't feel like calibrating it. It can be kind of a pain. Plus, I know the calibration is pretty good. John Barlow also used this scale, grew a 2,114 pounder. And I think between the both of us, we reach off by like 9-10 pounds. So for what we're doing, I think that's pretty good. We're not trying to get the total weight. We're just trying to see if it's growing. So we'll just do that. I think the topper weighs about 60 pounds or so. We'll figure that out, and then we'll just subtract that weight from there all the time, and should be good to go. I typically have been putting them on, or I only did one. I put it on when it's like 9 days old. So being we already pollinated a couple, got one tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure this thing works in case I needed to get parts for it or something, but it's all good. All right, so for the end of the week here, we got the 2200 Wolf, pollinated June 12th. That looks fine. The rest of this vine here is kind of burnt up. I got another one there that's going to open in a few days. I've been trying to shade the tip because I'm burning the leaves on there, mainly because of that one, the 2593 Peyton. My wife pollinated one on June 11th, and it looks fine, but all the secondaries closer to the tip, I don't know, they're like stunted, got really hot. I got another pumpkin there that I've been shading that's going to open tomorrow. We'll pollinate that one. That's the one I want to go with, but if those secondaries behind it are bad, I might just go with the one that was pollinated earlier. I may go with the later one and just cut those secondaries off, and that'd be a good one for the scale pumpkin. I was hoping this one for the scale pumpkin, but if I go with that later one and then cut those stunted secondaries off, it gives me a lot of vine to play with to get it on the scale real nicely. I want to kind of try and put it on the biggest one or the earliest pollination, which I guess both these are pretty close. And then the 2261 Schmidt, that one's probably going to open in 2 days. That one's looking good. Might have got some stunted secondaries. Like I said, I didn't shade anything like I should have. Lost some leaves here and there. I'm just hoping I didn't screw up too much on this one. I think is fine. That one I think is okay other than the vine tips. And then this one I think is okay. I'm just worried that that pumpkin itself might have got hot and it might not take. So yeah, it's kind of a should have done this, should have done that. It's one of those things, it's like whatever you have enough time for, I guess, and hopefully it doesn't bite me in the butt too hard. Like this plant's looking really good. I like the color, I like the leaf size. That plant, like the leaf size is kind of small, but like its vines are actually growing faster than this one and the other one. So I don't get it. But so all in all, they're doing pretty good. Couple hot days coming up this coming Thursday and Friday. Not as bad as that huge spell we had. So we've had some cooler nights and cooler days now, and the plants just look a lot better. So there you have her.